Tell me some more. Story by Crosby Newell Bonsall. Pictures by Fritz Seibel. I know a place, said Andrew to Tim. If I tell you, will you believe me? I will believe you, said Tim. I will believe you. Tell me and see. I know a place, said Andrew, where I can hold an elephant under my arm. The trunk and all, Tim said. The trunk and all, said Andrew. And I can hold a camel in my hand. If I use 2 hands, I can hold 2 camels, maybe 3. Tim said, 3 camels in your 2 hands? It's true, Andrew said. Tell me some more, said Tim. In this place, I could pat a lion, Andrew said. On the nose? Tim asked. On the nose, said Andrew, and I can scratch his ear. He won't bite you? Tim asked. Oh, no, Andrew said. He won't bite me. Tell me some more, said Tim. In this place, I can tickle a seal, Andrew said. I can even take the seal home. I can put the seal in my father's chair. On your father's lap? Asked Tim. Maybe, said Andrew. Tell me some more, said Tim. In this place, said Andrew, I can be taller than a tree, bigger than a ship, wider than a whale. Can you be fatter than a moose? Tim asked. In this place I can be, said Andrew. Tell me some more, said Tim. In this place, said Andrew, I can pick up a river and never get wet at all. Is there a fish in the river? Tim asked. There might be, said Andrew. There might be a boat in the river, and a man in the boat, and a seagull sitting on a wave. Tell me some more, said Tim. In this place, said Andrew, there are mountains and fountains, and moons and spoons, and rings and kings, and clocks and socks, and stairs and chairs, and pigs and wigs, and hens and pens, and drakes and lakes, and trucks and bucks, and oodles of poodles. Is there a star there? Tim asked. Andrew said, there is a sky full of stars. And a rainbow too? Tim asked. Oh, yes, there's a rainbow too, Andrew said. Is everything there? Tim asked. Andrew said, yes, everything. A camel in your hand and everything? Tim said. Yes, 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 Andrew said. I don't believe it, said Tim. It's true, Andrew said. Did you see it with your own 2 eyes? Tim asked. With my own 2 eyes, Andrew said. Where? Said Tim. Andrew said, I won't tell you. You won't believe me. I will believe you, said Tim. I will believe you. Tell me and see. No, Andrew said. I will show you. I will take you there. Tim followed Andrew, around the corner, across the street, past the candy store, up the steps, through a door, into a big quiet room. A big quiet room with books along every wall. Is this the place? Tim asked. This is the place, Andrew said. Where's the camel? Tim asked. Andrew said, it's here. I'll find it, said Tim. But it was not in the closet. It was not in the drawer. It was not in the inkwell. It was not on the floor. Was it under the desk, on top of the table, behind the door, stuck on the label? No. Tim looked all around the room. I know, he shouted. Andrew said, shh. But I know where the camel is, whispered Tim. Show me, said Andrew. Tim walked away. Andrew waited. In a minute, Tim came back. Tim came back and put a camel in Andrew's hand. See, Tim said, I told you I could find the camel. I found the camel right here in this book. It was the only place that camel could be. Andrew gave the book back to Tim. It was a big book. There were pictures of camels in the book, and stories about camels. Look, said Tim, I'm holding a lot of camels in my hand. What did I tell you? Said Andrew. I think I'll take home a rocket, Tim said, and a steam shovel, and 1 giraffe. Tim picked out a book. He picked out another book, and another book. Then he was ready to go. Andrew said, wait a minute, I'll take a book home too. Tim waited. Then Andrew and Tim walked back through the doors, down the steps, past the candy store, across the street, around the corner. Andrew and Tim, a rocket, a steam shovel, and one giraffe. And Andrew carried an elephant under his arm. "Be careful," said Tim, "or my giraffe may stick out his neck and stop all the cars from here to the hill. He may stop all the cars one after another. It may take us all day to get home." Andrew said, "Who cares? We will ride home on my elephant. He is big, he is strong, he will carry us home." "Can he carry a rocket, a steam shovel, and me?" asked Tim. "Sure," said Andrew, "and one giraffe, too." Tim said, "Or I may fly in my rocket right to my house. I may land in my own backyard. Boy, will my mother be surprised! My mother will say, 'Timothy, take that rocket out of this yard. My garden is a mess. Timothy, did you hear me?' That is what my mother will say." Andrew said, "If I ride home on this elephant, my mother will say, 'This house is not big enough for all of us and an elephant too. You will have to keep him outside. Outside, outside, outside with that elephant.' Then what will I do?" asked Andrew. "We might build a cage in the yard," Tim said. "In the yard between your house and my house." And Andrew said, "Then we use the steam shovel. We scoop up the rocket, scoop up the elephant, scoop up the giraffe and put them all in the cage. My mother won't mind that." "My mother will," said Tim. "Hey, we're home," said Andrew. He stopped at his gate. "Now do you believe me?" said Andrew. "Believe what?" said Tim. "You know what," said Andrew. He went in his house. Tim walked next door. Tansy sat on the front step. Tim's sister Tansy. He put the books behind his back. "Guess what I have in my hands," he said. "A bread and jelly sandwich," said Tansy. "Guess again," Tim said. "A cricket," said Tansy. Tim said, "No, you will never guess. Here in my hands I have a rocket, a steam shovel, and one giraffe." "Oh, pooh," said Tansy. "It's true," said Tim. Then he sat down beside Tansy. "I know a place," said Tim to Tansy. "If I tell you, will you believe me?" "I will believe you," Tansy said. "Tell me and see." "I know a place," said Tim, "where I can hold an elephant under my arm." "The trunk and all?" Tansy asked. "The trunk and all," said Tim. "Tell me some more," said Tansy. "No," said Tim, "you won't believe me." "I will believe you," said Tansy. "Tell me and see." "No," said Tim, "I will show you. I will take you there." The end. Tell Me Some More. Story by Crosby Newell Bonsall. Pictures by Fritz Seibel.